Hello and welcome to this video, this hour video of yin and yang. We are going to work through the practice of balancing our yin energy and our yang energy, and we'll have a lovely sumptuous yoga nidra at the end. The focus on today's session is going to be relaxation, and we're going to also be grounding through some of the poses that we do. So we're going to start through Shavasana pose or corpse pose, and we're going to start our centering for a good 5 minutes now and trying to learn how to relax the body step by step. So let's come down to the ground in corpse pose. Take the feet wider than the hips, let the legs drop out, and if you feel it's a little bit uncomfortable underneath the lower back, pop a little cushion or a blanket underneath and just ease the lower back into the ground. Back of the hands out, arms, shoulder blades down, rest the head back down. And if you find that the neck feels uncomfortable, please, for relaxation purposes, put a little cushion underneath the head and really begin to relax into this first 20 minutes of yin. And this pose is the centering pose of where we really begin to connect with ourselves, first of all through that physical body. Let's allow ourselves the time to let this body relax and let go. It's in these few moments that we can really come into this moment of here and now. We have nowhere to go, nothing to be doing right now. We're just here for ourselves to relax and to ground ourselves. So allow this body permission to relax and let go. In Yin Yoga, it's very much about allowing the body to open itself up gradually. Allowing the muscles to soften as that connective tissue gradually releases. And feel the body beginning to melt slowly into the ground. Releasing any hold that you have anywhere within the body. By allowing yourself time to gently ease yourself into relaxation. The body slowly accepts this. Feel the muscles slowly begin to melt and to drop away from the bones. And just notice the breath and don't change it, just allow it to be exactly as it wants to be in this moment, to be steady, to be still and to be calm, enabling the body to relax. When we relax this body, come into a place where we can open up the whole of our energy centre and become more balanced and grounded. notice now how the body's feeling. Notice how you're feeling the emotions. Gradually begin to deepen that breath now as we slowly come into the first pose. And gently begin to open the body by slowly stretching. And open the eyes, come back into the space. Draw those knees in towards the chest and give them that hug. And gently roll to whichever side is easiest for you to come up. Now, as we come into our first pose, the first pose is the butterfly pose, the Baddha Konasana, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and we're going to allow ourselves that comfort of being with the knees, of let them comfortably go. Some might be up here, some might be right on the ground, mine are here right now. So accept where they're at and allow your body to come into this shape and this pose. And allow it to be relaxation, but allow yourself to surrender for these few moments, these few minutes that you have in this pose. From this nice tall straight spine, we're going to lean forward, and as we lean forward, hinge at the hips and just allow the body to rest. It doesn't matter even if you're here. Allow the head, neck and shoulders to relax. Allow the hands to come down to the ground and try and aim the head towards the feet. So maybe the feet need to come a bit nearer. Maybe the knees need to be supported. Maybe you need a cushion or a block. Maybe you need to just relax and let go. And as you soften within that spine, as you soften within the lower back, just let the body gently and slowly open. If the head, neck and shoulders feel unsafe and they don't feel good, bring the hands now to that head and rest the head in the hands. Just allow yourself that time to release. Soften through the face and relax the jaw. And sometimes when we're in the poses, it's the mind that stops us from truly releasing and letting go. Try and bring the mind into this present moment and into the body and into the breath. Just notice the breath. Keep it soft and steady. And as you relax into the pose, time lets the body surrender a little deeper. gently begin to deepen the breath now. And get ready to slowly come out from the pose. Bit by bit. Begin to gently uncurl the body. Coming back into the room. Remove the props and we're going to come into caterpillar pose, which is a brilliant pose for tension and anxiety. So we're going to find a space where we can feel supported in this. If you want to do it with the legs straight and you want to put a bit more yang energy into it, you can come into caterpillar pose by folding forwards and you can stay there. If that suits your body, then we're going to spend those 5 minutes in that pose. So just relax, because the yin is all about learning to let go and relax. This is a case of nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Relax the body over. And remember, you may just be here. You may even be here trying to fold forwards. Wherever you're at, find that comfort. Use whatever props you need to just gently let go. And to ease, more importantly, the adrenal glands, the lower back space, the kidneys, and to let that tension be released. Rest the hands wherever they feel good. And as you focus on the breath, let the head and neck be loose. Let the shoulders relax. Let go with the cheeks. Soften the jaw. Let the tongue just dangle in the mouth. Let the head become heavy. And just come into this moment of the body, slowly surrendering to the pose. Allow there to be a certain sensation of stretch, but more importantly, to release, and to allow the body to soften and gently let go. And begin to gradually deepen the breath. And to slowly uncurl from the pose. When you hold a pose for a great deal of time, the body just manages to let itself go, but to bring itself back up, do it gently. And when you come back up, you might feel that you want to stretch a little bit with the body around the shoulders, and maybe even take a deep stretch up above. And just bring those hands down by your side, and we'll take the bolster away if you have one. And we're going to come to threading the needle now. So as we lie down on the ground, we'll lie down flat, And we're going to take that right foot over to that left leg. Let that right knee come out to the side and gently draw that left leg in. And you can hold the back of underneath the thigh then, underneath the knee. Draw the chin in towards the chest. And we're going to hold it now for 5 minutes on this side. And if this doesn't feel enough of a stretch for you, or if it feels too much tension, just learn to relax with the fingers, let go. Relax the shoulders into the ground and just notice the shoulder blades soften. There'll obviously be in the yin pose some stretch that's open in the tissue, but don't hold tension, don't clench the teeth, and don't hold on to that tension, allow it. Allow this yin posture to really bring fresh energy to the space of that right hip and right thigh, inner groin. Relax the shoulders down. And if you need a little bit more intense of a stretch, bring the hands on top of those knees, just below the knee, going on towards the shin, and draw that left knee a little bit nearer. Bring a little bit more energy into that right hip. Keep the chin tucked down and loosen through the gripping of the arms. Soften. Everything within the yin is passive, yet we notice there is a little bit of a stretch. And you get to a point where that feels like the edge, and you hold it there and you let it work its magic. Just connect to that breath. Come into that space of the here and now. And deepen the breath. Now gradually begin to deepen the breath. And soften through those hands and allow that left foot to come slowly to the ground. Gently take that right foot, bring it down to the ground and keep those knees slightly open. Now just gently let them go to the left side. Turn the head if it feels good to the right. And slowly move them back to the right and the head to the left. And just move and maybe open through the hips and soften right down deep into that lower back and the hip joints. As we move gently to the other side now to hold. Bring that left foot over on top of the right. Make sure you're in a nice straight line, draw that right knee in. And take the hands through and hold behind the back first of all, just allow the body to adjust to the shape. And you may find one side different to the other, you might find one side easier. So just find your shape first of all. And just close the eyes and come into this side and allow that left hip and buttock to gently open. Relax the shoulders down, release the arms into the ground, and let the fingertips be soft as they hold underneath that right thigh. And just notice as we've moved into this yin practice to release tension and to go into a state of relaxation. Notice how the body's beginning to feel now as we've allowed it that space, as we've given permission to rest into the pose. Now gently, if you need much more of a stretch, take the hands on top of that right shin and just feel a little bit more of an opening within that left hip space, left buttock. And when you come to the edge, the sensation that feels like something is going on, but it isn't hurting, it's just a deep stretch, a deep release. And most of our issues are in our tissues, as they say, within this soft connective tissue. And once we open it, we allow it the space to let go. And if you want to move the head and neck around to release any more tension in the head and shoulders, rolling in that crescent moon shape. Really connect to your body, what feels good for you in this moment. Don't just ignore the body, listen to the body. Deepen the breath now slowly. And let that right leg come down to the ground. And slowly lift the left ankle off. And again, just begin to open those hips as you sway and swish from side to side, just listening to your body, what feels good, what it wants to do in this moment. Now draw those knees in towards the chest and just slowly roll over to the side, which is best for you. We're going to come into the yang element now. So we're going to move gently to start with. We're going to come into our child's pose. And in the child's pose, we're going to keep the big toes together, the knees wide, and stretch the hands out along the mat. Bring the forehead down to the ground and let's gently roll to the right side with the ear. Back to centre and over to the left side. And just keep rolling that head. Just beginning to release tension in the neck and shoulders. And when we've worked through the yin practice, this has brought lots of nice fresh energy into the body. So we're going to become in a space now where we're going to move a little bit. And so I want you to come up into cat to start with. In your cat-cow, Very much just using this as a space for spinal movement. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, curl that tailbone, push between the shoulder blades. Using the breath to breathe deeply. Using the body to move the spine. And connecting to a little bit deeper movement, spinal movement, maybe as you push back, bottom to heels. Move forward and back. Just noticing what movement and what range of movement you have within your spine right now. And as we move forward on this next one, we're going to come right forward with those hands into puppy pose as we surrender our chest down to the ground. But more importantly, keep the hips stacked above the knees and just bring down to the ground the forehead. Breathing deeply into the belly. Staying on those forearms, slide along the ground and coming into Sphinx pose. Bring those elbows underneath the shoulders, lift and gaze forwards, pushing with the forearms into the ground, bringing a little bit of energy into that back body. Release down to the ground, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, come up into a baby cobra, keep the elbows in. And let's exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. One last time. Inhale, lift. And exhaling down. Bringing yourself gently into a downward facing dog. You can push back right the way through the bottom into child's pose. Curl the toes and come up slowly into downward facing dog. And just begin to pedal through those feet. Just beginning to acknowledge your downward facing dog. And manage to let go within the head. Maybe shake a yes and a no. And circle round. Make sure you're losing any of the tension in the physical body as you register your downward facing dog. And we're going to take that right hand now over to the left ankle and twist and breathe. And back to centre, over to the other side. And back to centre. We're going to walk those feet now to the front edge of the mat into our forward fold. In our forward fold, release, let go, let the head dangle, let the hands go to wherever they feel they can go to. Let the sitting bones go up towards the ceiling. Bring yourself now into that flat back. You can either bring the hands forward onto the ground or onto the shins and lift the body through. So create that space of that flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, take that deep breath in and come up to standing. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, take a deep breath in, reach up, grab the energy. And exhale into that forward fold one more time. In this forward fold, first of all, surrender down to the ground. Then come into that flat back. Crown of the head forward, sitting bones back. Drop down and let's hold on now to each elbow and hang in the ragdoll for a few moments. But shake the head backwards and forwards. And then just begin to sway in the ragdoll to release through the hamstrings, to release through the neck and shoulders and the hips, and to really just decompress that lower spine and to allow any tension within the hips to disappear. Now gently bring those hands at the front and come back into your downward facing dog. From the downward facing dog, move forward into plank. Drop those knees down, flatten the feet, come down in chaturanga, come up gently into a cobra, curl the toes under and flick back into downward facing dog. Walk again, the feet to the front edge of the mat, forward fold. That halfway house, halfway lift, forward fold, bend the knees and really spring up to standing. Inhale, bring the energy now down into you. And hold the hands down by the sides of you and come into Tadasana, mountain pose, feet hip distance, making sure that you relax through the shoulders, turn that tailbone under, draw that navel into the back of the spine and lift through the pelvic floor. Keep the chin slightly tucked, relax through the shoulders, and just close the eyes for a moment and come into this moment. Notice the body, how it feels as you've worked through that yin stretch and began to move through a little flow, some of the energy. Now gently come into the room. And when we move into the room now, we're going to come into a balance, and the balance is to create some grounded, some stability with us. We're going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. We're going to drop down into eagle pose, bringing that left arm forward, right arm on top, eagle arms. And if you want to wrap that right leg around the left, do so. And just lift those elbows off the chest and just hold the pose of eagle pose for a moment now, where you begin to center yourself and just notice how stable and grounded and centered you are at the moment. We're going to lift that right leg. As we lift the right leg, we're going to take it back, and as we take it back, we reach forward with those arms and we come into eagle arms in warrior three. Gently lift the right leg and hold. Forward with the right one. Back, release the arms. Let's go on the left side. Taking that left leg round, sit down, find that pose. Right arm forward, left on top. Interlace the hands. And again, you combine with that left foot round the back and sit down. But lift those arms off the chest and hold in the eagle pose. Balanced on your perch. Winds blowing, gales blowing. Still balanced, still steady, still grounded. Lift the left leg. Reach it back and take those arms forward as you lift now into warrior three with the eagle arms. And forwards. And release with the arms. Inhale, take a deep stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Touch the ground and let's step back. As we step back, let's move forward into plank and come down in chaturanga and come up. Flip the toes, come back up. Bring the feet together. Kick that right leg up high, reach it up high. and bring it forward to the front edge of the mat. And when you bring it forward to the front edge of the mat, we're going to turn into that wide-legged forward fold. And I want you to bring your hands onto your hips and to reach the body up tall. We're going to hinge at those hips, but before we do, we're going to do some breathing from the middle here. So we're going to breathe into the belly, right the way into the diaphragm. So as we hold on, I want you to feel the waist. So bring that thumb and forefinger around the waist and begin to notice that waistband. So breathe in and fill. When you breathe in, I want the hands to be pushed out and I want you to feel the diaphragm begin to open. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, push it in. Squeeze every last drop. Inhale, expand. Exhale, push it in. One last go, close the eyes. Connect to the sensation of that middle and the diaphragm as you breathe in. And out. And back into this space. Take the hands, interlace them behind the back and slowly hinge forward from the hips. And as you do, just gently begin to lift those arms and to reach them up above the head. Taking the head down as low as it will go, reaching those arms up above. And just spend a moment now really connecting to the deep stretch within the hamstrings, the groin, the shoulders. Relax. Let go with the hands. Bring both the hands now down parallel with the feet and just let that crown of the head slowly come down. Release through the shoulders, the neck, the head. Release through the inner groin and let the lower back slowly relax. Now gently walk those hands round to that front right foot and frame the front foot. And we're going to step back now into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, just spend a moment through this, releasing through the breath. Deep breath in and out. Exhale, let the head release. Let the sitting bones go up towards the ceiling. Relax. Now the knees, bring them down either side of that mat, big toes together, and push back into child's pose. From this child's pose, bring the hands down by the sides of the knees and just spend a moment to let the shoulders and the neck release. Now place those hands on top of the feet. And if that's not doable, bring them back by the sides of the knees. Just relax. Now gently roll over to the right side of the ear, back to centre, and over to the left. Take a few moments now just to let that be the last massage of the neck and shoulders, and to relax in the child's pose. Release those hands, bring them down by the sides of the knees, And gently and slowly begin to push yourself up. As you bring yourself up, let the head and neck and shoulders be nice and loose.